So, how many of you that are under the sound of my voice actually have a product that you guys are looking to launch? That's always kind of interesting to know how many people actually have a product. And the reason why I say that is because it's always important to have an idea of what you'd like to sell. And even if you don't, it's not a huge problem if you don't have an idea of what you want to sell. And we'll start the training in just a second. Well, in a minute, in a minute or so, and then we'll be ready to roll. Oh, sorry, it cut the music off, didn't it? Ha 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 ha. All right, there we go. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am so glad that you have joined me. My name is Dakisha Williams, your virtual COO, and we are here today to talk about the 7 day, 5 figure launch. And I'm excited because normally you hear me talk a lot about webinars and preparing to host your first webinar. And one of the things that as I started to, teach the class, that's that fall weather for you. One of the things that I started to realize that my students were only getting what I consider to be a very one of the segments of a product launch. And so we're going to spend some time talking about a full product launch. And one of the things that I love about the launches is that it takes in consideration the actual webinar. So, um, when you actually host your webinar, you don't even realize that what you're doing is a part of a bigger launch. So there are several different types of launches, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But one of the first things that I wanted to really hit home before we even get started is the fear of launching your product. And so that's probably one of the biggest obstacles that we as entrepreneurs that's one of the biggest obstacles that we as entrepreneurs face when we develop a product. And there's probably two fears that stand out the most. And oh, sorry. There's probably two fears that stand out the most. Number one, my nose is killing me. It's itching. Number one is that no one will purchase, right? And so, hey Dee, hey Luciana, I appreciate you guys joining us today. And as we start to talk about, our product launches. So, but yeah, but that's like one of the biggest things is that, and I've actually dealt with this myself, and it's like, oh my god, no one's gonna purchase, like no one's gonna buy, like that's like one of the biggest things. However, if you do your product research, you'll determine and it will ease the fear. So that fear would probably turn more into nervousness than actual like fear that nobody will buy. And so and what do I mean by research and development? I had a conversation earlier today with a colleague, and one of the things that I explained to her is that you have to be in a position where you test your product out to see if there's actually a need for the product. Well, Keisha, what do you mean? There's no reason that you can't, have a live beta, a live beta. Well, what does that look like? And you take 10, 15 people, however many you can handle at one time, and you take them through that process to make sure that your blueprint can deliver the results. And so early last year, we actually we did a beta for our Webinar Success Blueprint course, and I actually taught that course live. And I mean, it was nowhere near the cost of it now. Like, nowhere near the cost of it now. And, but what it did for me was that it allowed me to, number one, see if there was a need for it, right? It allowed me to see if there was a need for it, and it allowed me to see if people would be interested in it. And so we did that early last year. We had a few people that, hang on one second. Okay, cool. We had a few people that actually signed up for the course. I think it was like $397, maybe $497. I think it was like $397. And, I had a couple of people. I taught the class probably 8, 12 weeks. And it's so funny because I said I'd never teach the class again. Yeah, I said that. I said I'd never teach the class again. I promise you. And I went through a program earlier this year, and they said, you have all the content that you ever need to teach this class. Why would you not launch it again? Like, why would you not do a full launch, Keisha? I don't know. I don't know. And so that's exactly what we did. We did a full launch, enrolled over 10 people. And we did over $10,000. We had a 5-figure launch. It was over $11,000, $12,000. And so it solidified that, oh my God, wait, there are people out here that will be willing to actually invest and learn how to use webinars and use webinars in a profitable manner. The second fear that keeps us or where we get in our own way is we feel that there's not enough value. Any of you ever felt like that? And again, I don't know which platform you guys are on. I've got some people that are hanging out on YouTube. Maybe I think they may have subscribed to my channel, so I appreciate you hanging out with me on YouTube. But then we have some people that registered and they're on with us live as well. If you guys can see the box below, just comment below. Let me know that you are here with me. Tell me your name and tell me where you guys are from, so I can give you a shout out. And there could be a box below you. And if you see the box below, just type your name in and where you're from, and I'll give you a shout out. Let you know that, hey, we are live. All right, fantastic. But yeah, so the second one that I oftentimes see is there enough value? And I had this conversation as well, and oftentimes when I offer courses and curriculums, I oftentimes feel like, oh my God, I'm not giving enough value. Well, Keisha, how much value do you think that you can literally give in 6 weeks or 8 weeks of working together? Like, really, serious, right? So, glad you guys are joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you can only fit for so much in a 6 or 8 week program, okay? And especially when you're training at like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And so you can add bonus modules so that there, is added value. You can, do one-on-ones so that there's added value. But you can give the entire kitchen sink and you're going to feel like there's not enough value. So those are some of the fears that we have to get past as we go into an actual launch of your first product. All right? All right, so cool. So you're with me? If you see the box or comment box, just type your name and where you're from so that I can say hello to you. All right, so moving right along. So there's a couple of different phases of, building an online product, building a product blueprint, what I consider to be a product blueprint. And so when you are launching, you can launch in a 90-day window. Some people launch in a 60-day window. And it's perfectly fine. The more leadway to your launch, the better. And here is why. When you have a longer leadway, it allows you to build your list because and I broke it down into phases. Again, everything is phases for me. But the first phase would be developing a lead magnet. And a lead magnet can be a quiz, a checklist, it could be a webinar, it could be a free audio, but it's something that you offer, my favorite word, of value, where they will raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in what Carlos has to offer. Hey, I'm interested in what Lady Luan has to offer. I'm interested in what Luciana has to offer, right? And it may solve a very, very small portion of a problem that they have. And one of the key factors of having an effective lead magnet is getting crystal clear on who your audience is. Who do you want to work with? Like, who has the problem that it is that you solve? Who is that person? What do they look like? And honestly, what keeps them up at night? Is it the fact that they can't lose weight? Is it the fact that they can't manage their diet? They can't control their health? They can't make enough money? They can't get their business off the ground? They can't determine what product it is that they want to launch. There are so many people out here, personal and business, that are struggling and they need your help. They are waiting on you to help them solve a problem today. And so you, as the service provider, have to be crystal clear on how you can solve their problem. Once you get crystal clear on how you can solve their problem, it becomes so much easier for you to develop quizzes for them. It becomes so much easier for you to develop like a checklist, because once you get clear on, okay, this is what they struggle with, right? If this is what they struggle with, then here is A, B, C, D, E on how I can help them. But let me give them just a little taste of how I can help them to make them want more. Hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. So that's phase one as you start to map out this launch you're going to have, okay? So in the beginning of the launch, and this, even though the lead magnet goes into your promotion phase, but you want to have one. You want to have one so you can build your list and get new people on there. The next thing you can do is deliver value-based content via webinars such as this. Now, this is not being streamed to like social media. I am very particular about making sure that I don't stream specific webinars to social media, just because of the simple fact that, number one, I made you register. Well, I asked you to register. Sorry. Number one, I asked you to register to become a participant, to come into my space, right? I asked you to come and participate. So for me to put it on social media, it's like, well, there's no need to register because at the end of the day, she's going to just broadcast it. So I like to create a scarcity factor where people know that if Dakisha is doing a broadcast, Dakisha is not going to be broadcasting it online. She is actually going to be training in a exclusive webinar setting. Let me get the link. So I want them to ask, where do I sign up? Where do I get the link? And so webinars in this platform can help you build your list. You can use it as a lead magnet, but also, hey, also, making sure that everybody can see me here. Oh, good. But also, it helps you create an atmosphere where people can, they can focus and they can learn. Because usually I give housekeeping rules, like when I'm on a webinar, turn your cell phone off. I don't know if you guys heard mine at the beginning. Get a piece of paper, get a pen, get something to write with. A lot of times I use the notepad on my iPad, and this is the smaller version of the iPad. But those are some of the rules. And so that's why I believe webinars are one of the best platforms to deliver value-based content. So that's another way that you can start another phase where you build up into your launches as well. The third thing is when you're launching, develop a promotional calendar so that you can build a tribe. So you may start in, I believe I gave you guys, if you're not in the productlaunchcrew.com, if you're not in that group, what I did was I gave them a launch calendar that they could use. And so it was broken out in phases. So it's like your own promotional calendar that you can use to have your next launch. Now it's a very shortened window because I created it so that you could have like a 10-week launch. Okay. And it looks like my screen is a little off. Oh wait, if I bring it closer. There you go. My head is not cut off. Okay, so develop a promotional calendar to build a tribe. Perfect. And so if you go over to productlaunchcrew.com, you'll actually get access to the calendar that I provided to them. My allergies are really killing me. Y'all say a prayer for your sister, okay? All right, so let me see real quick if anyone is... Someone says the video is not working. Give us just a second. All right, so I had two people that inboxed me and said that they were not able to connect. So give me 1 second and we will get them rolling. I don't know why they were not able to see it. Here we go. I'm just going to share this link out really quickly and then we'll keep rolling. So sorry about that. Hey, Trinette. Gotta love technology. All right, let's try it again. All right, let's see. Okay, so they should be good to go. Awesome. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, so if you are a part of the product launch crew.com, you can get access to the calendar that I gave them. So the productlaunchcrew.com, it should be on your screen for just a second. All right. So having a promotional calendar helps you build a tribe because you can extend your promotional efforts and your marketing efforts for a longer period of time. And then the third phase is where you actually get into developing your profitable product. So many of you have so much great information, but it's all up here that people will pay you to actually um, experience, work with you, get your knowledge that you have. One of the things that you guys don't understand is that people will actually pay you for what you know. People people pay for access and people pay for knowledge. And so one of the things that I try to express to my students is that you guys take the time to really just think about some of the things that you know. And so, we as experts, we take for granted the knowledge that we have. Like we think that everybody is, we think everybody has, knows exactly, what we know. And I've done that with webinars. Like I've gotten, to the point where, I can set them up. I've delegated, but I can set them up in my sleep and it's not a big deal for me. However, you know, there may be someone in my class that I might have to break it down a level or two down so that they can understand it. And that's okay. And as an expert, we have to remember that because we are knowledgeable on such a higher level that oftentimes we take for granted that we have people that are not on the same level as us. That is why they pay us. Does that make sense? So people will pay you for the knowledge that you have. I know Dee was asking, do we have the training this afternoon? And Dee has a very, very, very necessary, product that they offer. And a lot of 6 and 7 figure business owners have so much money in accounts receivable. I've actually, as a virtual COO, I've seen it before where clients have over $100,000, $200,000 that is sitting, that is due to them, and they don't collect on it, or they're not successful collecting on it. And so Dean and I was having a conversation earlier this week about how important it is for that program to be offered, to online business owners, especially in the coaching arena and the consulting arena, because it's just necessary. Because once you get to a certain point, I mean, it's just no way around it. You're going to have people that pay late. Sorry. I mean, you are, it is what it is. And so, but that's one of the things that we take for granted that, we feel like everyone is fully aware and knowledgeable of the things that we do. No, they're not. Everyone doesn't know how to do a profitable webinar. Excuse me. Um, Everyone doesn't know that you should follow up after every webinar as well. Hint, hint. And so then the fourth phase of preparing for a launch. This is all preparing for the launch. This is not even going through your launch. But we'll talk about that very shortly as well. But as you prepare for your launch, decide on what membership platform, and that is how you automate this online space. You want to decide on what membership platform that you want to offer. There's Thinkific, there is Teachable, there is LearnDash, there is ClickFunnels. There's so many portals out there, or I call them product deliverability platforms, where you can house your content. So the question that I like to ask is, does your content have an address? Have you started to build a empire where your content actually has an address? If the answer is no, that's a problem. That's a bigger problem, okay? So, Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, you guys, that had some technical difficulty. I appreciate you joining me. But yeah, so where does your product reside? So start, developing content and start placing that content in a membership area that product can be sold. Okay, so that's how you deliver a method to deliver your products when they're sold. And if you do it right, you can automate that process, okay, once the purchase is complete. And so I love to develop curriculums for my programs. And that way it lays out module by module what you guys are going to learn, what you guys will, you'll walk away from, participating in a particular program. I'm just very curriculum based. I actually study occupational and technical studies, which is really, really weird. Um, but it helps in this space when I start to develop my content and my curriculum. So develop all the back end connections, your payment gateway. On our call today for WSB, she was setting up a way for people to pay on a subscription base and understanding like the API and all that stuff. So make sure that when people hit the buy button, that they're ready to go and move forward. So those are kind of the phases. And then the last phase of preparing for a launch, sometimes you need to have a team. And so you have to have the outsourcing blueprint so that you can build a team so that you, as the visionary, can focus on revenue generating activities. Okay. So there's 4 people that I always feel that you need to have on your team, and that you should create a budget so that you can afford these 4 people. Some of you guys that have been with me, some of you guys are coming with me, so that's cool. And I mean, some of you have been with me. I'm sorry about that. So you get it. But for those of you all that have, this is the first time you're hearing the sound of my voice, it's okay. So listen, number one, you need a technical person. Clearly, you see the technical difficulties that we had earlier, but it happens to the best of us. It's all good, right? Um, so you have to have someone that can build your landing page. Someone can set up your webinar. I think I probably have like 3 webinars going right now one time. Shh, don't tell anybody. But you have to have somebody on your team that's, confident in that space where they are knowledgeable. Let me make sure that we got everybody on here real quick. Okay, awesome. Oh, wait. Somebody else text me. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Got one more. And so you need support people so that you can have someone that's checking if people can't get in. It's very, 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 very important. I call it a tag team. I call them a tag team crew. So awesome. All right. Then I like to have someone on the marketing team. Someone keeps me relevant online. Someone is always sharing. Someone who speaks in my voice. You can hire, individuals local. You can hire them overseas. But I love to have a team of individuals that are versatile, that can help me out. Then I have an executive assistant. That executive assistant handles all of the admin work. So they help me. And I apologize. My allergies are killing me. Um, they help me with like the communication with the clients and things like that. So we have technical people on our team. I have coders, graphics designer. We have marketing people, people that do social media. We have executive assistant that helps with the admin. And then at the end of the day, you got to have a virtual COO, somebody that comes in, helps you put in the systems, help you put in the processes. You may have seen me post earlier today where I was talking about, hey, listen, I fuss and I fight, but the fact that I have the processes written out helps me onboard my assistants and my marketing people with such ease, because if there's a task that I need to be done, all I have to do is pass that task over, listen, and they're going through step by step, even with screenshots of how to get that task done. And they only really come to me if something doesn't make sense or if the system or software has changed. How cool is that, right? I mean, you can't beat that. I don't know about you, but you can't beat that. And so that's one of the strategies to building a team, is making sure you have processes in place. So I'll give you a secret. Um, if you are a solopreneur, start documenting what you're doing in your business. Start documenting what you're doing in your business. So this is just promo one. So this is video one. And if you guys want to talk about product launches in your business, I want you to go to www.calldakesha.com. That's right. www.calldakesha.com. Calldakesha.com. And I want you to schedule a time to have a conversation with me about your next product launch and what that product launch is going to look like and how to set up your phases of your product launch. The address is www.calldakesha.com. Calldakesha.com. We'll continue the training series on product launches over the next couple of days. So if you've registered for today's broadcast, you'll get an email of the next training. It'll probably be towards the early of next week. But if you guys have any questions, go to productlaunchcrew.com, productlaunchcrew.com, ask your questions in the group. Go to calldakesha.com if you have questions and you want to talk about your next product launch. We are launching the 20K launch pad this month. We are launching the 20K launch pad. So just imagine if you could have five-figure launches next year to grow your business to 6 figures. Like, most entrepreneurs are trying to get to 6 figures, but they haven't even hit 5 figures. And so once we actually solidify the blueprint to 5-figure launches, it was all she wrote. So the first 10 people that would like to be a part of the beta launch, it's only $197. So just send me a message. You can schedule an appointment, call Dakesha.com, say, listen, I'm interested in the beta program at $197 a month, and it's a 12-month program, and so there's no reason why you should not launch multiple times over this 12-week program. You hear me? So yeah, it's $197 a month, and we are doing a beta for the first 10 people that are interested in the 20K product launch pad that we are launching this month. So again, this is the first of several series of product launch videos that we're going to be conducting. I'm so glad that you guys had a chance to join me. I'm sorry that we had some technical difficulties at the beginning. But if you have any questions, please go over to productlaunchcrew.com. I'm so sorry. Productlaunchcrew.com. Productlaunchcrew.com, and ask any questions. So I'm signing off. This is Dakesha Williams. Had so much fun with you guys. Sorry if you just joined. Make sure that you go back and watch the replay. Love y'all. God bless you. Good night.